Hello,
Wait,
welcome to A Happy Medium.
okay, I was gonna say, which one are we doing?
We're just gonna sit here and have a nice little conversation.
Just a little chat.
Yeah, I chose to
Nice
be
little
outside
chat.
today since that's what everybody is doing today. No one's inside except for Matt.
Is that a rule? Did I like? Who said we have to be outside?
It's just the rule of humans. If it's nice out and we're told to be inside, we're gonna be outside.
Yeah,
Even though that's not really the rules anymore. A lot of places are opening up slowly but surely.
open sesame.
But
Open sesame.
I don't know. There's a lot of civil unrest, as you would put it, as you would call it.
Yeah, that's the name of my new band, Jerry. And I'm not a musician or have any talent or can sing or can write songs or have the capacity to stand in front of a crowd. But if you want to help me with it, that'd be great. Civil
Well,
unrest.
so what's new? I mean, 2016 election year, there was a lot of civil unrest. 2020 civil unrest. So it's like,
There's always been civil unrest. 70s, 60s. I mean, 1800s. The Revolutionary War was one big civil unrest, pretty much against England. I think civil unrest can be a good thing, but I think it's like manipulated by like some like person that you don't see behind the curtain. But you see the Michigan stuff? Did we talk about that in the other one?
no. I mean, there was rumblings of it in states, but I think the Michigan was the next step.
That picture where that guy's like screaming in that dude's face, like he looks like Goldberg if his life went to hell. You know what I'm talking about? Like that bald
Yeah,
white dude that's like, ah!
yeah,
Like the dude just like slammed his mom or something.
yeah.
I mean, what kind of state is Michigan? I've never been to Michigan, honestly.
I mean, there's certain people like that in every state. I don't know if it's just a state thing. It's
I
just,
never thought of it as like a big militia state, but I think it is though. There's a lot of militias in Michigan. It's one of those states like Ohio where it's like drastically different, like in different areas, I think.
mhm.
I mean, you got Detroit, which is
Isn't that like
like,
every state though? Almost every state
oh,
besides
like
like,
Chicago and Illinois,
yeah,
Southern
that's what I
Illinois.
mean.
So.
Illinois and even Missouri. There's St. Louis is very and Kansas City are very different than the rural parts of Missouri.
But Parsons is gonna, well, not just him, but he's opening up the state pretty much, except for St. Louis. And now St. Louis has got a plan, I think, to open it up. And you gotta wear a mask, and everyone's gonna complain about wearing a mask. So
People are gonna complain no matter what.
yeah,
It's really getting old because it's just like things do. I mean, it's almost like everything that people are reading, being reported. It's all in question. There's opinions. There's what's true, what's not true, what's the right thing to do, what's the wrong thing to do, and it's everything. Like it's a little bit of it's everything. It's everything you read is right, everything you read is wrong, and it's just you don't
well,
even know what to believe anymore. You don't even know what to. It's hard to even like have your own opinions because when you have an opinion, it's like, oh God, am I that side? Like everything's sides now. You're taking sides, and everything's politicized. uh, you take one stance. If you just wearing a mask, well, I wear a mask. Oh, I'm on this side now. Well, I don't wear a mask. Well, now I'm this side, and I don't know. It's just it's. I think if anything, it's not a depressed. It's just like this is a shitty time, and it could be much worse. I mean, God, it can be a lot worse. But I'm just saying, like, I'm kind of yearning for the good old days, like before social media, before not even the virus thing. I mean, it's ever since like in 2015, 2016, um, I guess the rise of social media when it was before or after it was used for just innocent, hey, look at my meal, or Jerry is. Remember the beginnings of social media was always is something. Your name
yeah,
is something. I
yeah.
am something. So that's all. That's my little rant. It's almost like I just want to go be Amish or something because you can't get away from it.
You can't do Zoom on Amish though.
That's true. That is true.
I wonder what the Amish think of this.
That do they even know anything's going on?
And that was someone mentioned that at, another night that I was talking to. Like, I wonder if the Amish are, and even more like people like in the Amazon or just in like eccentric people who live out in the woods. Like, yeah, I'm going to go be a hermit for 30 years, and okay, I'm going back to society. No, like I'm going back in the woods. There's some virus everywhere. I mean,
I bet the Amish are impacted because you see they do a lot of business. Like you see in grocery stores, like they sell Amish stuff and Amish like furniture and.
when I worked in Iowa, shit, and in Missouri, in radio, there was a lot of Amish people I'd see like at gas stations and at bowling alleys too. So I don't know. They're not allowed to do that stuff. Are they being bad? I think there is some sort of thing where you can go out and live on like us, whatever we're called, the English.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember thinking like, "Ooh, you're so bad having a soda at the gas station." Like, don't tell your dad. But do you think they're like almost happier if they are oblivious? Do you think like that's a better existence of just living in like some small community and just living in that's like your world? I mean, your world is that small, but like everything else is burning around you. But like doesn't matter because it doesn't affect you.
I mean, in ways, I feel like that now. Like of our little small towns, while we're being reported on how the rest of the big cities and all over the country are burning, you look outside, it's crickets. Not saying nothing's happening. I'm just saying the capacity of things that are happening. Like you said, like everything with the news is the world, the country, not really the world, but the country crumbling. Not so much now, but I guess a couple weeks ago, and then from March until a couple weeks ago. Um, then you look outside, and it's everything seems the same.
So, what do you think of elected officials not wearing masks in the hospitals? You know what I'm talking about. There's a
Yeah, I
couple
know what
people
you're
who
talking
died.
about. I don't know. It's just
One really super heterosexual vice president and our governor, and then I think other people. I think it's like a stance. Like, are they making a statement?
that's what I'm saying. It's like it's everything. Like it's just the same thing of wearing a goddamn red hat. You wear a red hat, you're part of this side. So
It's
now
not a
it's like
MAGA hat. It's a Nebraska hat.
no, but it's almost like it now. Like any red hat is like not that it means if you wear a red hat, you are that side, but now it seems like you don't wear a mask. Oh, you're one of those people who think this is a hoax or think that's is anti. Um, no, wait a minute. I'm trying to think. And it's also like the people who are protesting are wanting things to open back up, but then at the same time they're wearing masks. So it's like I don't know. Nothing makes sense.
Following the rules. Rules are rules.
Yeah. Well, back to everything's a political stance. Um,
Well, where do you stand? Should we open up? I mean, Pritzker basically has Illinois on lockdown.
I mean,
If you pay attention,
I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just like that. My little rant. That's how my brain is. Like, I don't know. It's just, I'm trying to think of what affects me versus what is the best situation for everything. I have no idea. I don't think it's fair that, um, a big city like Chicago is affecting the whole state because we're, we're more attached to St. Louis, yet the rules that keep things closed, it doesn't make any sense when you can drive 10 minutes across the river and the rules are different.
yeah, that's like my analogy of being grounded in your room and looking out the window and seeing like all your friends play.
Yeah.
Because Indiana's going to open up before Illinois too, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but
I don't
do
think
you
there is
think?
I think there's still not a clear-cut answer. I mean, we'll know pretty soon. There's the church bells. Must be 12. Um, what are they saying? For I was rudely interrupted by
God?
God.
Haven't you done enough? There's enough attention on you and your virus.
I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, we'll know here. I mean, we'll know in a couple weeks or a month. I feel like this is make or break with this virus. Because I feel like there's gonna be a lot more people outside, a lot more businesses operating, a lot more people in close quarters, um, and if numbers that are being reported, which could be true, could be half true, could be a fourth true, um, if those numbers go up tremendously, I don't know. We're gonna be back being grounded, like you said.
So just be honest, and there's no judgment because even if you weren't like quarantining, there's probably people who were like way worse than you. The beach people, the house parties they showed on the west side of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, so I've been quarantining. I mean, I just have been. I haven't been breaking the rules. But then, like, if we were like extended for like 3 more months because people weren't cautious enough and they opened too soon,
Mm-hmm.
and people didn't listen. Like, how mad is that going to make you?
Well, I mean, the only thing that would affect my life is the schools won't open and the kids will be home all the time and everybody will be home. So it's not like a huge, like I work remotely anyway. So my job, I wouldn't think, I mean, I guess any job could be affected if all businesses are required to shut down again. Um, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, of course, I'll be mad. That's why I don't know what the right thing is. No one really knows because everything can open back up, and then everything could be fine.
Is it though the essence of America? And I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm
Yeah,
not telling you I believe this, but isn't it the essence of America to question authority,
yeah,
to not listen to what we're told? Do you watch Plandemic? We talked about this before we started recording. We don't know how to analyze Plandemic, but you watched it, right?
yeah.
Okay. First point is why is it being taken off YouTube? Can't you have just something up there for people just to decide whether it's bullshit or not? Are we that stupid where we like don't let us see it? Oh no. People already think what like crazier shit than that. So I mean,
Yeah, well, it just shows. Well, that's like where corporations are getting involved because YouTube's a corporation now. It's not just a standalone streaming service. So they got to play nice with either their content creators or um, who they're in bed with, and of course the government comes into play with that. So uh,
well
yeah, I mean,
they're not under FCC guidelines. They're not under television and radio.
well, it's just like anything. Like YouTube used to be. It, it's almost like I'm for like the really crazy out there stuff getting taken down. I guess I don't know.
Well, even like Alex Jones got banned from YouTube, and I get it. He had like 2 million subscribers and was making a shitload of money, and he was spreading lies and hatred stuff about like the shootings being false flags, and he's his whole shtick is conspiracy, but it gets to a point where not everything can be a conspiracy. But anyway, I still don't see the point of like why can't I watch that and laugh at it? I mean, if you believe that, that's on you.
Because he can make money off of it.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was trying to say is like I get that cut off his money supply. I totally get that.
It's a tricky situation because who can you cut off and who can you not cut off?
But you put a pandemic or plandemic, and then there's this buzz going around Facebook, Twitter, social media that there's this movie that keeps getting put up on YouTube that they're taking down. That makes me want to watch it.
Here's the thing. I already knew that it was quote unquote, more for publicity because it was put on YouTube. If they really, were just concerned about putting useful information out, they would have found another source because there are other sources. And I think even in the video, didn't they say how the tech companies? It's almost like they knew they were setting this up. They were setting this up they knew it was going to get taken down, and then they would go, see. They don't want to. They don't want you to know. They don't want you to know.
Give it like street cred, like oh, it's dangerous. They had to take it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. What other outlets could they put it up on though, besides YouTube? I guess their website. They could have
I
put
mean,
up
there's a
a.
few, and there's a few foreign. Well, I don't know what they're by the name, and there's Vimeo, but that's a little different.
Because I watched like a bootleg version of it, like someone recorded it off a TV that was like recorded off of VHS.
Yeah. I think that's like it's just that's the point. It's just like it's not we're not here just to present information. We're here to, cause a scene, cause a ruckus. Look, they took us down and look, all these people are sharing because they want truth to be heard, and it's just it's been going on for years. Well, not years, but
Has that shit been fact checked though?
yeah.
Has it been proven wrong?
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
just embellished and
well, the thing about Anthony Fauci in the '80s, like withholding the AIDS medicine, like is that true?
I
You can
don't
easily
know.
look that up. I mean,
Me, I mean, I went to Reddit, and of course I didn't read. I mean, people put out like
oh, Reddit.
loads of information and site and sources, and um, I mean, I didn't spend a whole lot of time investigating it because I don't really give a shit anymore. Um, Part of it's like, yeah, that could be true. Part of it could be true. Like the whole, um, if a patient tests for it, the hospitals get incentives.
Well, that's been reported in other areas. Like that's
Yeah,
not just this movie. They're saying they're pumping the stats.
but
They're
as soon,
cooking the books.
yeah, and then as soon as it got to the whole, well, then it had the one doctor who went viral a couple weeks ago by, you could tell he was aligned with some agenda, saying, well, we need to get out there because we need to build immunities. Um, which could be true. I don't know. Is this anything you watch? And I was like, I don't know. That could be true. That could be not be true.
What
That's
what
where I
really
stand. I don't take a point. It's just, yeah, that could be true or it could not. It could be complete bullshit. The only thing that was a huge red flag for me, and it came in the first 3 seconds of the film, was the filmmaker credited himself as father/filmmaker. I don't know if you caught that. And I thought that
is
was
it?
that was
It's
really weird.
Christian fundamentalists.
I guess.
That's what I heard. It's Christian
Yeah.
fundamentalists.
So of course I can't take once I know that there's an agenda behind it, I don't really discredit it, but it's just I don't take anything with a grain of salt, or I take everything with a grain of salt anyway, but I don't know.
The one thing I took away from it that I could with this fucking awful thing, because it was also on like some screen, and like the music was like over it, like it was mixed down bad. I don't
Yeah.
know if the music was part of the actual film or if like the person's trying to put it up is like, oh, put some music under it. It's like, stop. Too much free time. What stuck with me was staying at home and lowering your immune system. Everyone washing their hands and then going out and then it's spiking up. Like that seems actually kind of like like scientific to me, not just tinfoil hat shit. I mean, that's probably logical. We're going to lower our immune systems and then it's going to go up. That's common sense, ain't it?
Can you lower your immune system in a couple weeks or a couple days like that? I mean, people get the flu every year, and everybody's inside doing the same thing. It's not like people are outside during the wintertime. And
Not like this though. Not like you can't go anywhere. Businesses are shut down. I mean, I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying I'm like, okay, I sort of see that being possibly true.
well, the only thing I think, and if it's once this started, it's like, well, if there's no quote unquote cure or vaccine, then you're going to get it at some point, whether it's not now or you're going to come in contact. I shouldn't say get it because, I don't know what the percentages are, but you can come in contact with it. And if your immune system's strong enough, you can fight it off and not even get it. Or you're just not going to get it and then get it later whenever your immune system's lower. Um,
True.
So if you're going to get it at some point, you might as well just get it. That's my take. Or just not, you know what I mean? Like don't go licking poles or, licking, the subway rail. But
We've said that we both think we've possibly have had it in the fall. I mean, I thought I've had it,
no,
but
I
now that
had
I
it.
think about it,
I thought I had it in March. I thought I had it like the 2 weeks before everything shut down.
there was a good over a month long period where I just had a big respiratory problem. I don't know what it was. Did you
Yeah.
get a flu shot?
No.
Or what about when it said in the movie that if you get a flu shot, you're getting the virus in you and it's going to make you more susceptible? Would that explain But I mean, I don't know, man. It just got. I was watching it like this morning, like at 6 a.m. It was like,
Yeah,
I was like, I have to watch this.
that's how I am. Like nothing. I think I used to be. I think I used to be so 100% believe everything I saw. I mean, that was essentially this year's version of a decade's version of Loose Change and Zeitgeist. Remember those early documentaries on YouTube when YouTube was first out that no 9/11 was a 100% conspiracy and um, the other one was Zeitgeist and um, I 100% believed into all that. And then and then the Sandy Hook thing, the Alex Jones Sandy Hook thing, 100% believed in that.
You
And
believe in
then,
Sandy Hook?
well, the documentary I ever watched, I'm like, what if it wasn't real? That's what I'm saying. Like I was
Yeah.
really like 100% bought in, and then at some point, it's just like, but there's also agendas attached to this, and or it's just a crazy person saying this to sell his pills to make your immune system better.
No one's
So
doing it for the good of mankind. They're
right.
doing it for
So
a
now
reason.
it's just like I don't 100% believe in anything.
You're a nihilist.
No, it's just like yeah, it could be true, could not be true. I don't know. No one knows. These people think they are, but it is funny to watch. I do believe that yeah, there's billions of dollars to be made from this, billions.
Yeah.
So when they do go down that road, like with Bill Gates, and like, of course, they want everybody to be sick because then everybody's going to get a vaccine because they don't want it. Um, I believe that. Like I said, part of me believes that yeah, there's 5 people, there's 10 people in a room that control everything, and they want 2% of the population to be gone. That's believable to me. Will I live my life according to it? No. Um, will I preach it and will I share every single piece of quote unquote news about it I see on Facebook about it? No. Um, and that's kind of how I feel about everything, government and all that. Like, yeah, that could be possible, could be true, but it's just a game that's being played to manipulate people and you know prey on the weak, in my point of view. Or it could just be, I don't know, people just want money from you, which seems to be the case. A lot of things are just done just for money.
What do you think of the 5G conspiracy?
Sorry. Um, I do. It makes sense. Like, but they were talking about this. They were talking about 5G causing issues to the human body years ago, before this came out. Um,
Would it cause a flu though?
well,
Like,
I think the thing is, the argument is it can change your DNA. It can modify your cells in your body uh, and either make you more susceptible to illnesses. Um, I think that was it though. But it's like anything. People say about staying too close to a microwave. People say that
yeah,
about
or
when 3G went to 4G. But 5G is a huge leap from 4G. It's like it's huge. It's a huge amount of data that's being transferred through waves. And I think the biggest difference is that the sources of it, like the towers and the I guess hotspots. I don't know what they're called because they're not towers, but there's attachments that attach to poles. They're more concentrated. They're a lot closer together. So that's really the argument against it. Or they have, they think it could cause the human body because you're putting so much more concentrated waves around a human body. But the same thing, same argument for like having a router in your house. It's the same argument.
well, we'll have a better quality cell phone activity, right? So it's
Well,
worth it,
yeah,
right? I mean,
well, I thought, well, the only difference is that because the data transfer is so big, like you could potentially, like anything you can do remotely is just like 10 times. So like, I think the argument is, or not the argument, but the example is that someone can perform a remote surgery like across the country, across the world, because there's so much data. It's so much faster and there's so much more of it. So you can do a lot more of more powerful things remotely. So it's not just the speed of the internet. It's a lot of, I mean, just think how much automation, you know, factories, a lot of factories use 5G for that reason because everything can be automated now. And so since there's more data being transferred, you can do a lot more things automated.
So it's worth getting your immune system lowered. I understand. Yeah,
I
totally.
don't know. I don't think that's being put. I don't think that's being argued, or I don't think that's being looked at because it's going to impact business so much, and it already has. So people, people in charge care more about people in charge care more about money and profit than something that cannot be proven yet. Money first, health later. And if
Well,
it
we are
does, and if it does, I don't think it'll. And if this is a result of that, it's not going to change anything.
long live capitalism, as they say.
Well, yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, it's gonna. It's if it's. I mean, it's already started, but it's like a new. But no one's really. It's just. It's what the groundwork's been laid, and it's not really being touted as a huge business change. But like, there's just a lot more automation. Pretty much, that's what it's going to be. The rise of the automation era of business and manufacturing, and I don't think it's not possible without 5G. From what I understand, I mean, I'm not a huge, I haven't done bunch of research, but I did look into it and why it was so politicized last year or 2 years ago, whenever it was. Can't keep track of time. Um,
yeah, what day is it?
I don't know. So yeah, everything's
I,
terrible.
I I never really paid attention to the 5G thing. I just like whatever. Better cell phone use. Shut up. Let me do it. I didn't realize it like could lower your immune system and stuff.
I mean, but it's like anything, it's not proven. It could be. It could. I don't know. It
If
could. It
it's
could
on
not.
YouTube, it's got to be real. So
Yeah, right.
I mean,
Well,
the video.
that was a conspiracy. Like one of the first couple weeks that everybody's inside, so the schools are closed, so they can install 5G without
Yeah,
anybody knowing.
I watched a video about that this morning too. I was watching a conspiracy video Saturday morning. Fun time. That was
Instead of the Saturday
that's what.
morning cartoons, the Saturday morning conspiracy time.
Yeah, I still watch cartoons as well, but they're like grown-up cartoons, like
Hmm.
not kid cartoons. I'm a
Hmm.
grown-up, so um, what are you what are you doing for Mother's Day?
That's a good segue.
Well, it's
uh,
the fucking pandemic Mother's Day thing.
Honestly, I lately, because there's a lot of birthdays in May and in April, and we just been doing what we normally do, except we're just outside. Like when we see
Yeah.
family, we're just outside now.
Well, there's this big story that I saw online that I wanted to talk to you about. I think it was in like South City. There's this band that like defied orders to shelter in place, and they like played on porches. And do you know anything about that? Like,
Yeah, I do.
it's,
We didn't defy it. We didn't do anything illegal.
how'd that go though? Did people like go inside, or people like rock it out, or
We
what? I
were
mean, it was
outside.
cool.
We
I
were
know it
outside.
was cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was one of a kind. I mean, I think people should do it more often. And that's kind of the good thing about this. It kind of just brings everything not down to a halt, but yeah, people are very appreciative of it, and um,
So your
well,
band played on the porches in South City, St. Louis, as like a little concert for a neighborhood.
mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. So like that's cool. Like we're
Yeah,
like, was a lot of people outside? Like, what was the environment like? Were people? I mean, so I'm not like going into St. Louis. Is there like, yeah, cool music, or like, is everyone scared, or like, does nobody care, or what? Like, when you're like playing, were people walking by with masks on, or were people like
there
like
wasn't there
playing?
wasn't there wasn't a lot of masks.
So no one
Um,
gives a shit, man.
yeah, that was before that. Well,
Okay.
there's no masks. There's no mask. Well, I think people care around here because it's an order in this state. It's an order.
Governor JVP.
You can't get into stores now without them. But in Missouri, there wasn't one at the time. I don't think there still is. I don't know if there's one in the city. Um, a lot of it, it wasn't like people weren't on top of each other, but you could tell like no one really cared. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of it. I mean, a lot of it were just people that staying at their houses. Like they were just on their porch watching us, and there was just a small gathering of friends and family, and they were kind of close, but it's not like they were like on top of each other talking and socializing. But I find
How
that
long?
here. I find that here too. I mean, still see people walking around in clusters, and um, I I just feel like the mentality is if you're outside, you're okay.
What do you?
Which
Sorry.
no, I mean, I think I mean, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a specialist, but you got to think that being outside is a whole lot better than being packed inside. Not only in a small concentrated group, but also the ventilation system.
Right.
I
Right.
think the ventilation system is a huge because if you see you're in a restaurant or anything, any inside or a venue or a concert venue, there's a ventilation system. There's an air intake that's taking in all of the air and then spitting it back out in a big, just a big system. So you got to think there's none of that outside. So you got to think that I'm not saying there's not a chance of getting anything outside, but it's probably a lot better to be outside than inside.
Plus, that whole immunity argument, if you're outside, you're exposed to more stuff that helps build up your immunity versus
Yeah.
being in your safe little bubble, like bubble boy house, rolling around in
Right.
your like gerbil hamster wheel.
Well, there's
Uh,
the argument that UV rays help kill it too. So
well, they say in the summer it's going to go away because of the I guess that and the
yeah, but
heat.
no one knows for sure though.
I do. You
I
said
know
you're
you
not a
do.
doctor. I'm a doctor.
No, I
I
just
just don't.
what's being reported. It's conflicting. Some it's all a guess because obviously the common cold and the flu go away in the summertime, but other big like the last coronavirus, the SARS-1. I think it was either SARS-1, H1N1, one of them. Started in April and lasted all the way till the end of the year. So it was rampant in the summertime. So no one knows, or no. I mean, there's theories, of course, but we'll find out soon because it's been warm in
So,
some parts of the world, but numbers keep. I don't know. I honestly stopped keeping track of the numbers situation.
what do you think about Florida and stuff, like opening their beaches and everything? You think that's safe, like to be on the beach if you're listening to a little cluster, not like touching everybody else?
I don't live in Florida. I don't know.
You don't?
I don't really
I
care.
thought I saw a palm tree.
I mean, it's. I mean, as all the memes say, it's just like we're watching. We're watching from over here, see what happens, because that's
Right.
where the spread's going to start. If it's still,
If you lived in Florida, would you go to the beach with your family? If you're a Florida
no,
scum and you lived in Florida, no offense to our Florida listeners, but if you lived in Florida,
no.
you wouldn't go to the beach.
I mean, it's equivalent to do I want to go inside, even though you can't go inside anywhere anymore. It's the equivalent, it's the equivalent of do you want to go out to eat inside? I wouldn't right now.
So what do you think of the 25% capacity rule now? Is it worth it? Is it worth to open up businesses
Not
so you
to
can
me.
get like 5 people versus 10?
Not to me. I feel like curbside's. I mean, I feel like you can entice someone who wants to go out for a meal. I don't know, but me, a person who still thinks that this thing could still be out there and contagious, but there are some people who believe like this is all fake. This is all, or it's not big in my area. So I don't, I want to go out. I want, you know, how dare you impose I'm a social person. I need to be social. So there's those type of people who'll go out and do anything. But um, my point of view, um, I don't feel like it's worth the risk. I'd rather just get carry out or the curbside pickup. Like I'm still supporting a business. I'm still here's my money. Thank you for being open and I don't want to cook, so thank you for providing a meal. I'd much rather do that. And I think there's a good percentage of people who are like that. So back to your question, is it worth opening up? I don't know. 25% plus the curbside. I don't know if that'll still maximize or will still equate to what businesses will be doing if they were open, before this, if it was just normal. But it's probably good for the business owners. I guess
Yeah,
I don't know. I guess there will be reports on it soon. As soon as I think St. Louis is set to open like that in what, a couple weeks or next
May
week.
18th. May 18th, I think. Somewhere approximately May 18th.
Yeah.
But just like I understand, like, where do you think that comes from? That I have to go out, I have to live my life, how dare you? Is it A, government conspiracy, right-wing nut jobs. B, complete ignorance. You just don't pay attention and you're in your own little world. Or C, like my rights and needs are more important than anybody else. It's everybody's problem but mine. All
Yeah.
the above, pick
Yes.
one.
Yes. Or it's just, I don't know. It's just,
D, all the above.
some people have issues being inside. It's hard for me to down because every situation is different, and you don't know what everybody's facing inside their house. To me, just being outside and just doing something active, or just being, like I said, just being outside. Like I'm outside right now. I feel like I'm better off. I feel better doing that than being inside all the time. That's why I mean, people think things are bad now. Just wait till November, December, and they're still talking about this, and we're gonna be inside all the time because you literally can't go outside, or it's
You're inside anyway normally. Like
yeah,
you're normally not going outside during that time period.
yeah. But it is funny to see. I don't know if this was touched upon or if this was just a random thought. It is funny to see, like, there's so much caution everywhere, every store, every this, but like you don't, in this area at least, you don't see like major outbreaks. Like if okay, we can only limit X amount of people in Walmart and Costco. And maybe that's why. Maybe I just answered my own question. Maybe that's why there's not huge. It's just like you just see the numbers tick up just a little bit. And a lot of times what's being reported is, well, a lot of those are nursing homes. So it's not like, at least in the last month, numbers around here, Monroe County is great. They hardly have any numbers, but St. Clair is actually one of the highest counties in the state.
Monroe County's mainly nursing homes.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of nursing homes in St. Clair, but I mean, that's not good. The numbers aren't comparable. Or yeah, St. Clair. But St. Clair like quadrupled in one weekend. I think that's like really cause concern, which that could still happen, but we haven't seen.
Yeah.
It's just been like slowly ticking up. I think that's a good thing. I mean, it'd be better to go down, but if numbers went, jumped up 200, 300 in a day, and it kept doing that, that'd be a little alarming.
Well, what do you think's going to happen if that does indeed?
Yeah, it's
like what are these governors going to fucking say?
I was gonna say, but an argument that the St. Louis numbers are a lot higher than over here, and they have.
Why do you think that is? Kansas City's isn't high either. It's St. Louis is like a hotbed of the state for some reason.
Is it just the way people live, like how they, not like what they do, but like how they're literally like
St. Louis
living,
lifestyle.
like big cities, like there's more clustered. There's more people that live close together, and their apartments are closer. And like we said, the ventilation system, like, is it more apartment complexes because they share a ventilation system? They share
Right.
they share air intake. They share pipes. They share, because that was an argument about Italy. That's how Italy got hit so hard, because there's literally just places that people live are just so crammed together. And same goes with New York. I don't see St. Louis being like that. I mean, more so than over here. I don't know. I'm just trying to look for like correlations of like why. But not all big cities got hit hard, so I don't know. Just try and put two together.
I mean, you see that thing in Arkansas where they're trying to. I'm gonna take this off. It's bothering me. Is this fine? Do you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can hear me now.
Huh?
You can hear me now. So it's gonna echo when I talk. I know, but it's gonna echo.
I can hear you twice. That's awesome.
No, put it back on. Please and thank you.
Wait, I got something. So hey, though, the Arkansas concert. Have you seen that? They're gonna try to have a concert in Arkansas.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. There's some country guy, some probably America guy. They're having a concert, and it's a 1,000-seater, and they're lowering it 20%. So it's they're gonna have 200 people in the show, like going to the show, instead of a normal 1,000. They're gonna be potted off or in pods of 10, like separated. You're gonna get your temperature taken when you come in. All people are gonna get their temperature taken. Okay, sounds great, right? That can't sustain the concert business. That's not the answer to the concert business, Jerry.
No.
You can't have that. People aren't going to do that for every concert ever. Okay. Tool, for example. 10,000 people, let's say, would come to a Tool show, probably more.
Not the big size.
Well, that's
Maybe.
what I mean. What are they going to do? Lower it to like 1,000 people, and then have. The tickets are going to be like $1,500.
You know what they should do? And I've thought about this a long time ago. It's definitely going to be a huge cut, but you do with the movie. See, now we're kind of crossing over, talking about movie stuff. We'll talk about this next podcast. We'll talk about it now. We'll just do one podcast. Screw it.
All right.
The movie business. Instead of putting movies out in theaters, they're just putting it out on demand, and they're just charging, $20 to view it. Why can't Tool or a band like of Tool's status put on a pay-per-view concert? If you really want to see us,
pay money.
Pay $50. Cheaper than a concert ticket, and all they got to do is do it once.
Yeah, but then you got all these other people live streaming for free, though.
But it's Tool. Would you?
You heard the new Pussifer?
Yes, I watched the video.
Did you like it?
Video. Yeah.
I think it's good.
I like Pussifer. I almost like Pussifer more than Tool now. Like, I would rather go see Pussifer.
I've seen Pussifer. They're good. It was pretty fucking weird.
So I feel like, but I don't think that's an answer to a band like Tool. I think that's more like mid-range. Because obviously, how much money are they really going to make?
You have to upcharge the tickets. You have to make the tickets like more expensive to make it worth it.
But I think
you do like comedy shows where you do an early show and a late show, and you do like all weekend long.
Well, let's not even say Tool. Let's say someone huge, like, I don't know.
The Motley Crue tour. Like, what the fuck would they do?
Not even. Well, yeah, they're pretty big. That's different.
But they're playing arenas, like 60,000 people.
See, but their demographic is more older. I don't want to be disrespectful,
Hepatitis C.
They're gonna be like, I need to go out. I need to dress like I'm in the 80s again. I need to go out. and that's not a knock against that, because in 30 years I'm gonna want to go see the Chili Peppers if they're still at it. I won't dress like the 90s, but what are they saying? But no, I'm talking like, okay, I'm trying to think who's huge. Let's say Justin Timberlake, even though he's not. He's kind of getting older too.
He's faded, man. Justin Bieber.
Okay, I'm not part of the times. So yeah, Justin Bieber.
I'm not either.
What's her name? Billie Eilish. Perfect.
Yeah.
Female. Do you think if she did an on-demand concert, $100, how much money do you think that'll rack up?
A lot, but
I don't know. Will it? I guess.
Well,
it's cheaper than a concert ticket, I guess, but you're paying for an experience as opposed to.
It's still not live though, man. You can't recreate live.
Yeah, and then there's also a lot of things. You can combine like meet and greets. You can combine just more intimate things that, they do meet and greets on the road too. You can still like do the tiered thing, like you pay $80 for just the concert, live concert. Then you pay $100 to get like, I don't know, like a Zoom link. Here, $100 and it gets, or $20 extra bucks, and you get a Zoom link where I will play acoustic for 3 songs and share a story or something.
That might be the future, man.
And then $150 gets you the that's derogatory. You get the backstage link that gets you into the backstage party, and the shenanigans that happens after that. Hey.
I've done a few meet and greets. So basically, they walk by and like sign something, so they can like email like you something she signed or mail you something she signed, and then like this, like, hey Billy, hi, like for like 5 minutes or maybe even less probably, because a meet and greet you don't even get to like talk to them, and if you even like try to like you know what I mean, you're out of there.
Yeah.
So I can see it working though.
But will it replace? I don't think it could work, but I don't think it would replace. It's better than nothing, but I don't think it'll replace the amount of money made. Because just think you do that every night for 40. How many ever dates do you do?
Right.
You just do it once, you're gonna make like a fraction of what that would be, unless you do something different. That's the only problem with music, is you can't do I mean, I guess you could do it every week, but still, like, it's going to be the same experience. Maybe change their set list, maybe.
That's
Oh,
probably like all live performances. Like once
oh,
you've seen it,
well,
you've seen it.
well, it's almost like the Vegas thing, like the residency.
Yeah.
You know, they do it every weekend. They do the same songs in one place.
That's more
Yeah,
of a spectacle though, like the
right.
show, not just
Yeah.
like the performance. They're lip syncing most of them.
I don't know. I don't know. Well, let's segue over to our other podcast. We'll take a quick break and hop on over to the Happy Medium YouTube page, and we'll continue this conversation on pop culture. What we're watching, what we're not watching, what's the future hold? No one knows.
Watching you.
So is the government. Bye, everybody.